What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your second stimulus check update. And the good news is stimulus checks are going to be in this next stimulus package almost for a certainty. Honestly, I felt a few days ago before we had this recent push for stimulus checks that they were going to pass a stimulus package without an actual direct stimulus check. If we go back to last week, that was the case, that they were going to pass a stimulus package with a $300 per week unemployment check, $1,200 per month there, and checks for rent assistance and food assistance, which I'll be walking you through how to claim that here after they pass that bill. But honestly, if we go back a few days, they were looking to pass this bill without a direct stimulus check. And because of you guys and because of the push from senators and congressmen, we now at least have a stimulus check in this next bill. The question is, how much is it going to be? We're going to go over the new details of it in this video. And don't forget to like this video if you haven't, and subscribe down below if you haven't, so you don't miss out on future updates, because there is going to be a lot of information coming out as they try to pass this bill by the end of this week. Okay, first up, just like I warned you guys about the scams on stimulus checks, if anybody texts you and asks for your social security number or your bank number, they say they're from the IRS, they email you, do not give them your password or your social security number or anything like that for a stimulus check. The IRS will not ask you for that. The same thing is going on with early vaccine access, as you can see here on the screen. In fact, scammers are attempting to exploit the news of the new vaccine by offering fake vaccine access for individuals who give their social security number to callers. Public health officials have cautioned. Health officials say, quote, if you're receiving unsolicited offers for a vaccine, not one, not two, but about 10 red flags should go up. There's no way that under any circumstance you should deal with anybody except a known and reputable medical provider or pharmacy. It's really sad that these things happen in life. And when they pass this package, which is probably going to be this weekend, there's going to be a lot of this going around. There's going to be a lot of stimulus check scams, okay? I will walk you through all the correct way to do everything and claim everything and address all your questions through these videos and comments down below. Do not give anybody a password or anything like that, a social security number through a text message, through an email, or a phone call. The IRS will not call. I will be walking you through the different tools on the IRS's official website when the time comes. Next up, yesterday's new positive case numbers are in. We have had the second highest day ever in American history, and actually in world history, with 245,000 cases, positive cases of the virus yesterday. That's down from the high a week ago where we had that huge, massive spike up of 280,000 people catching the virus in just one day. Yesterday, now 245,000, the second highest day ever. But even worse is that we have just now hit a new all-time record for deaths in one day. And this is actually kind of the more grim and serious, milestone or number, is that 3,600 people died yesterday from this virus in just one day. And as you can see, this trend is going up and up and up and up. And health officials are very worried that we're going to see more of this and we're going to see more shutdowns, because these aren't cases. These are actual people dying. And yeah, that's pretty sad. On the next stimulus check and the next stimulus package, let's hear from Bernie Sanders regarding what is happening.
A very close eye up on Capitol Hill, where lawmakers say they are making progress on a new economic stimulus package that's expected to include a new round of direct payments to individuals, something that our next guest has been pushing for very, very strongly. Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont is joining us from Capitol Hill. Senator, thanks so much for joining us. And I know this is an issue that is close to your heart. You've been critical of the current coronavirus relief proposals, saying they simply don't go far enough to do what is really needed. But from your perspective, on the latest information you're getting, what's missing?
Well, number one, the entire bill at $900 billion is much too low. It should be at least double that. So what's in this current bill is good, but it's not enough. Now, what I recognized a couple of weeks ago, that there were no direct payments going out to people in this country many of whom are in desperate economic shape. As you well know, Wolf, we got a record-breaking level of hunger in America, higher than it's been for a very, very long time. You got millions of people who are facing eviction. They can't afford to pay their rent. They're going deeper into debt. And we're looking at people in the midst of the worst pandemic in 100 years who can't afford to go to the doctor because they don't have enough money. So what I have fought for, along with a Republican senator, Senator Hawley of Missouri, is to make sure there are direct payments similar to what we did in the CARES Act in March. And that would be $1,200 for every working class person in America, people under 75,000, a couple under 150,000, and $500 for each of their children. So a family of four would get $3,400, which is not insignificant in this moment when so many people are hurting.
But just to be precise, that yet hasn't been accepted, what you want, right?
That is right. Where we're at right now, as I understand it, is we're between $600 and $700 for adults and $600 for children. So we are making progress, but I want us to go even further, because I think when you ask people out on the street, what is...
I do want to jump in here just for a second and say, if we go back just 2 or 3 days ago, there was no stimulus check in there. And now this push from Senator Bernie Sanders and Senator Josh Hawley and AOC and a lot of you guys on Twitter tweeting congressmen and congresswomen and the president, and really a push from the president that there needs to be stimulus checks in there, has gotten us from zero now to $600 to $700. The number I've been hearing mostly is $600. I do want to say, as he just said, that's not set in stone. 2 days ago, we had zero. We've gone from 0 to 600. It's not impossible that we could go from 600 to 1,200. A lot of congressmen and congresswomen are saying that the stimulus check needs to be at least what it was last time, $1,200.
The most important thing the government can do in this terrible, terrible moment, they will say, give us some help. We need some help right now to pay the bills. And that's what we're trying to do.
Researchers have found, Senator, that since June, it's hard to believe this is happening in our country, some 7.8 million Americans have fallen into poverty. Now, these are people who had jobs, were making a living, they were paying the rent, buying food, doing what they needed to do, but now they are in poverty right now. And it's hard to believe this is going on. And what's so frustrating to me and so many others, why is it taking so long to help these millions of Americans?
Well, I don't want to become overly political here, but it is clear to me that we have a Republican majority here in the Senate who has refused to entertain, and still refuses to entertain, the kind of funding that is needed to provide nutrition, to help people who are being evicted, to make sure that people in this crisis, can you believe it, in the midst of this terrible pandemic, everyone's afraid of getting the virus, and you got 90 million people who are unable to go to the doctor when they get sick. So many of us had fought for adequate funding, and we've met very stiff resistance from Mitch McConnell and the Republican leadership. But what we got now is not enough, but it is something. And I'm just simply happy to say that as we enter the holiday season, when so many people are worried about how they're going to pay their bills, whether they're going to get evicted, whether they're going to feed their kids, at least, among other things, there'll be $600 per adult and $600 per child as well. So that's a start. I want to do better.
So obviously, even though you want more, you'll vote in favor of this compromise, whatever emerges. Is that right?
I want to read the bill. It's a long, long bill. But I'm feeling good that we have made some progress, at least. A week ago, as you know, nobody was talking about direct payments. We got something in the bill, and I want to thank my progressive friends in the House for their good work on this. We're making some progress.
Because, as I often say, and I've said it to the Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, and others, when you're dealing with a crisis like this, you can't let the perfect be the enemy of the good, because so many millions of people out there are suffering. You might not get everything, Senator, but you're going to get a bunch that will make life better for these people, right?
Well, one of the other things that we're going to get is extended unemployment benefits. As you've indicated, unemployment is very high. A lot of people have no income. It, again, doesn't go as far as I would want, but I think we're talking about a supplement of $300 on top of regular unemployment. I think it's now for 13 weeks. And also, I should point out, Wolf, importantly, that I think President-elect Biden fully understands the nature of the crisis. As soon as his administration is in office, I think we can expect to see a significant step forward in addressing a lot of what was not dealt with in this bill. So this is, in a sense, a down payment. This is not the end of the discussion. The American people, working families, are hurting. We have got to respond. We're doing something now. We'll do more when Biden takes office.
When do you expect this vote to happen? It's got to happen within the next few days, but do you have a timeline?
I don't think anybody really knows that right now.
But you're going to stay in D.C. until this is done. You're not going back to Vermont.
I am not, and I don't think anybody can or should. We cannot go back to our families when so many families in this country are hurting right now. We've got to get this done.
So several things to talk about. One is you've seen them reiterate that the Joe Biden administration is going to be asking and pushing for more stimulus packages starting as early as next month. Mitch McConnell actually admitted that he knows that they're going to have to pass more stimulus packages, reiterating what Senator Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden have said, that this is just a down payment and they know there's more to come next month. So at least they'll be getting this out now. The other thing we need to talk about there is that $300 per week unemployment extension, the $1,200 per month for unemployed people, is that, and this is why these details are literally changing by the hour. I mean, 2 days ago we had $0 stimulus checks. Now it's looking like $600 to $700, with $600 for adults, $600 for children. I'm also hearing that all dependents will get the $600 check this time around. And people from mixed families that have a Social Security number and have an ITIN last time probably didn't get the stimulus check because of the ITIN person. This time, the Marco Rubio bill is going to kind of fix that. So only the person without the Social Security number will not get the check, and the other people in the family and the children will get the $600 stimulus check. There's also rumors that every child, there will not be a limit on children and adult children and adult dependents. If you have 6 children in your family, that they will all receive a $600 stimulus check. These details are changing by the hour. That's why I'm trying to bring you guys as much information as I can. You also heard from Bernie Sanders there say that now it looks like the unemployment extension is going to be, I've heard 12 to 13 weeks. 13 weeks takes us right up around to the end of March or April 1st. So 13-week unemployment extension until basically around April 1st. That will be that. I mean, that's several months from now. So that's pretty good. I don't expect them to extend the unemployment again in January, because that unemployment will go all the way till March. In January, I expect them to ask for more stimulus checks and more money for state and local governments in that January stimulus package. And they'll probably have to give the Republicans the liability protection to kind of get them to pass it. Although, if things keep going the way they are in the Senate runoff races in Georgia, where both the Democrats are currently leading in those polls by about 1%, they might not need the Republicans at all to pass any bills. Well, they will for some because of the filibuster rule, but there's going to be some bills that they can pass without Republicans at all. And if the Republicans lose both of those seats in the Senate, it'll be 50-50 tie, with the tiebreaker going to Kamala Harris, the vice president. Mitch McConnell might not even be Speaker majority leader of the Senate anymore. He'll actually be minority leader. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens with that. I will keep you guys updated when we get closer to that. Right now, let me bring you another state that is passing rent assistance and stimulus to their people right now. The great state of Texas still has $2 billion, $2 billion with a B, not million, $2 billion left in stimulus funds. Some of this money, you can see here, the deadline to use these funds is December 30th, to use some of this money for food banks and for rent assistance. Now, Texas does have several different rent assistance programs. One of our viewers, Unforgiven, has helped us out with Texas several times in the past. If you know of any other rent assistance programs in Texas, comment them down below because they're kind of different per state and per county. And also, they're going to have to spend some of this money before the end of the year. So if you're from really for any state, keep an eye and keep checking on different rent assistance programs that go out before the end of the year. A lot of these rent assistance programs will actually pay your rent for 3 months or 6 months, and it actually equals thousands and thousands of dollars of stimulus money in your pocket. So make sure to stay tuned, stay subscribed to the channel. I will keep you updated on more rent assistance programs and the federal unemployment and stimulus package that they're trying to pass by this weekend. New videos come out at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have dozens of students that have replaced their entire 9-to-5 income selling products on Amazon from home, and I teach them how to do that. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.